Hello book nerds, welcome to Bookshelf Bunny. I'm Kim and this is February's TBR. Hey guys. So for February, I have a few books in mind that I want to read, a couple that are coming out that I'm excited about, and a couple books that I am actually reading already. There's a few that I will be starting next week, so I'm including them in my currently reading pile. So right now I am currently reading Bardo by Emily Gallo. This was a copy sent to me in exchange for a review. I have read another book by this author. It was called The Last Resort, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. This one so far has similar vibes. Whoa, dropping it. So Bardo follows a character who had been exonerated for a murder charge, but he did spend 20 years in prison. So he has this record. Even though he's exonerated, it's on there. And when a body turns up at the farm he works at, he knows immediately he's going to be under suspicion because small town cops, and he just happens to be a black man. And we all know how that goes, which is sad, and it shouldn't, but it does. So he runs off to New York with a friend of a friend, and while he's there, he has a lot of introspection to do, and a lot of events start happening to him there that kind of mirror what he's been through, and so he has some growth to do. So I'm only about halfway through this one, but it's a really good read, and I will be posting a review probably on my Instagram, so keep an eye out for that. Also currently reading Jade City. I started that this week, and it's really good. It's sort of a fantasy gang story. We have some dudes who have special ancestry that allows them to channel magic and abilities from jade. Now they can wear the jade like jewelry, or it can be like embedded into their skin. And there's a rival gang, and shenanigans are ensuing. So I've only just started. I'm like 6 chapters in. I paused because it's a buddy read with Jason Reads 10 on Instagram, so we'll be picking that up again next week. I'm also reading a book called Light Lark right now, and really enjoying it. It's another fantasy story. This one follows around a bunch of different magical races who are under a curse, and every 100 years this island, it's kind of like their capital city, this island opens up. It's hidden most of the time because of the curse, and while they're there, the leaders from each of these people groups have an opportunity to break the curse. And I started that one last week as well. It's really interesting. I actually picked it up because a coworker of mine said she's reading it, and it's a trilogy, I guess, or a series, and it just piqued my interest, so I borrowed it from the library. I'm also going to be starting Tom Lake next week, again as part of a buddy read. This time it's a group that I'll be reading it with, so I'm interested to start that. And then there's the books that I hope to get to. I really want to read, what's it called now? Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. I know that the next book is coming out in March. I have the first book. It's been sitting on my actual physical bookshelf for ages, but I also have a digital copy because I do that sometimes. And so I want to pick that up, and I want to read that ahead of the second book. So maybe in March, when it's released, I'll read that one too. I also really want to read My Roommate is a Vampire. I've seen this one all over Instagram, and it just looks like a fun story. So that is a hopeful. That is a big hopeful. It's gonna be good. And those are sort of the big ones that jump out at me. I'll share a clip here in a second with these. So I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a good reading month. I didn't really go with a Valentine's-y theme. I know February is, you know, the month of love, but like I said, my goal for this year is mood reading, and so I'm just sort of reading what I want. I did want to quickly touch on one of the books in this clip that you see as a hopeful. I can almost guarantee that will be read this month. I've agreed to read that one in exchange for a free review, or an honest review. I got a free copy in exchange for an honest review. This is the second book in a series. The first book was really good. It's sort of like a military mystery. And the second book, I read the, sorry, I have bunny fur sticking to my face because rabbits. The second book synopsis sounded really interesting, so when I was offered the copy, I jumped all over it. I think this author is great. You should check her out. I will share information in the links below on both Emily Gallo, the author of Bardo, as well as the author of Uniform Scandal. So check them out. Check those authors. They work really hard, says the girl with the unfinished debut novel. And I think you should read them. I like them. I think that you'll like them. Check them out. All right, that's really all I got in the world of books. I did want to show you as well, I'm really excited. I have a couple new items on my desk that I think are gorgeous and amazing. I got one of those desk pads, and it's this beautiful pink Sailor Moon theme. And to go with it, I got a couple new wrist rests that are pink and kind of cloudish. I think they're adorable. One of the things that came with is this cute little cloud coaster that my tea is currently sitting on. I just love pink. I have a problem. So this is my new desk setup, and I am in love with it. Last thing I wanted to talk about was my blog. I don't know if you know, but I have a blog. I actually started that before any of my other book adventures on the interwebs. And I used to use it primarily for reviews, and I couldn't really keep up with that. I find that sharing a review on a video or an Instagram is a lot more feasible for the time demands than it is to thoughtfully write out the blog and edit that and send it out there. So I wanted to use my blog still because, I mean, the written word is obviously my first love. That's why I read, that's why I write. And so I decided that I'm going to use my blog as kind of a way to hold myself accountable for my goals this year. In particular, my goal to cultivate a cozy bookish life, cozy booktrovert life. And what I mean by that is I have content on a whole bunch of different platforms, and I really feel like a central hub for what's going on in the life, the world, and everything that kind of pulls it all together. Once a month, maybe highlights some of my favorite things on my various social platforms, so you can check those things out in particular, and also discusses a little bit some of the other cozy hobbies that I enjoy, because I know a lot of my fellow book nerds love the cozy hobbies too, and I just thought it might be fun to kind of explore that with you guys a little bit. But I'm going to keep it mainly in the blog. So if you want to see those things, see what I'm playing, see what I'm writing, see what I'm crafting, interact with me there, leave me comments there. But that's where most of that is going to be. Yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna try it out this year, see how it goes, and if that works well for me, then I might keep it up. We'll try. Oh, and one last thing I wanted to mention. I just tried out StoryGraph. I'm on Goodreads already, and I've seen people share things from StoryGraph, and it's essentially Goodreads, but it also like measures more than just more bunny fur. Bunny fur is itchy. It's tickling me. It also measures more than just your books read, your pages. It kind of breaks down your genres. It lets you kind of track your book types. Like I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I now read a lot of ebooks because these are easily portable formats where I can engage in reading while I'm out and about through my day. But I also still pick up paper books. And so it's kind of neat. I can track how many of each of those I've been reading, genres I've been reading, moods that my books have that I've been reading. So I decided to try that out. I'll share a link down below, but if you're on StoryGraph, feel free to follow me there as well. I'm giving it a try. We'll see what happens. Okay, I think that's everything I got. I've got my goals ready for February, my books ready for February. I did share a blog post end of January. You can check that out as well. It kind of outlines my goal for my blog moving forward that I briefly touched on here. So feel free to look at that. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. Are you, like me, a cozy hobby enthusiast in general also? And if you are, aside from books, which are obviously my favorite cozy hobby, what cozy hobbies do you like to engage in? Are you a crafter, a knitter, a sewer, paper crafts, diamond art, coloring, adult coloring? Do you play games? What kind of games? Do you play cozy games, challenging games, first-person shooters? Tell me all the things. I would love to hear from you. All right, book nerds, that's it from me. As always, happy reading.